Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Expansion Pack podcast, where we download this week's gaming news, and you already know we bring it straight to you. I'm your host, Danzel, aka Black Eyes, joined by my co-host each and every week. Starting off to my right-hand side over here, we got Manny, aka Goop Master Flex. What's going on, bro?
You already know, stay gooping.
Stay gooping. Let me get a fit check today, yo. You ain't got no gaming shirts on?
Nah, I mean, I'm gonna be the show camo, so I got
Okay, all
the
right.
St.
See,
Louis Cardinals on.
staying on brand. I respect that. All right, we got my man down low, Chris, aka May 25th. Let me get a fit check for you, yo. What's going on here? We got the glasses.
You know what it is already.
We got the May 25th in.
You already know. If it ain't a hoodie, it gotta be a beater. If it ain't a beater, it's a hoodie. You know what it is, man.
Okay.
Y'all know I'm a very simple person.
If it ain't a hoodie, you know what's goody.
Ooh.
Get that on the back of a hoodie, guys. Get that on the back of a hoodie.
Damn right. That is nice. I like that shit. Yes.
Oh boy. All right, guys. Well, we're here. You know how we do each week. We're here to talk about some games. Got actually a number of announcements this week, but we're gonna try to keep it concise here because there's a lot to talk about. We're talking about the new Max Payne remake. Pretty excited about that. And then Unreal Engine 5 Epic had a showcase for Unreal Engine 5. They talked about a lot of different partners that they're going to be having, some new features within the engine. So, that's going to be the main stuff we're going to talk about for this episode. But Chris, you already know what it is, man. I'm going to have you start us off with the icebreaker.
All right, people. Short and sweet, nice and simple this week. What is your favorite ending to any video game, right? It's funny, this question, we just came up with it a second ago, and I was saying to them how it really kind of brought to light how many games did not give me a good ending. Let's keep it positive and focus on the good ones, So for me, I kind of have a two-part answer. The first answer is really quick. I really, really, really enjoyed the ending to Beyond Two Souls. That's one of my favorite endings ever. Like, I love that one a lot. To me, that one was like the cherry on top. It made the game for me. But my actual answer, left field, it has to be probably the Walking Dead game. Remember the Telltale one, the first one with Lee and my God, bruh.
That one put a tear in my head.
Bruh, at the ending, right? You know what it caught me? It's when he's handcuffed to the heater, right? And he's trying to tell her to shoot him. And she's like, Lee! And I was like,
stop, you're gonna make me cry.
Because it reminded me of Lion King almost, in a sense, when Mufasa died and he's trying to wake him up. Whenever I see shit like that, I don't know why it fucks me up. Even in the Pokemon movie, when Pikachu thought Ash died, and he was like, I know why. Yo, shit like that be fucking me up. So when this little girl got told she had to shoot this man that's been just like having her back and holding her down, pretty much being a pseudo dad the entire time, and you gotta put him down. I don't know, just the way she said Lee, I was like, damn, yo, that's rough. But it was in true Walking Dead fashion.
Mm-hmm.
What's Walking Dead? The whole idea about Walking Dead is you're not going to get a good choice and a bad choice. You're going to get a bad choice and then another bad choice. And you got to make a decision somewhere in the middle. That is the Walking Dead, So I don't know, man. I really, really enjoyed that. That's one ending that like stayed with me for a long time now, man. I have played through that game at least 3, 4, 5 times. I still hate Benji every single time, but I always try to get a different playthrough, and that ending got me. Not only that, but the way they did that, I was instantly ready for part 2, bro, because I was like, bruh, this little girl just shot this man, and she's out here alone kind of shit. Yeah, what the fuck they doing in this section? Bro, this story was this was great.
Yeah.
I wish they would have did this in TV. This was really good. Yeah, that's my answer for sure. That Walking Dead game, A1.
It's a classic.
That's a top 5 ending right there for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All time.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
That was good.
All right, Minnie, what you got, man?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to choose. There's like a couple of them that like I liked, but like it's hard to pick a number one because there's like a lot of good games. But I would say the 2 just because Chris said 2, so it has to be fair. The first one is I really enjoyed the ending of Uncharted 4. You know, the way they close out Nathan Drake and his whole franchise of the 4 games. Man, like just the way the whole ending was when you had that. I think it was like a sword fight. Damn, how do we forget the ending? And we're talking about their favorite ending. But I think it was having a sword fight with this dude, and they were fucking making out shit. So like that one was a good one. But like another one was Metal Gear Solid 3. That was hard.
I
You know
never
what I'm
got
saying?
to the end of that. Damn.
I don't know if I should say no because you haven't got to.
No, that one you can spoil. It's fine. That's fine.
Nah, but
That's
like just like the whole overall story, just like you're going out stopping the KGBA kind of stuff, and then like in the end when you got to defeat basically your mentor, and just the way like the whole story unveiled itself, whereas like your mentor was actually a double op, you know what I'm saying? Like she left your side to go to their side, but for your side, you know what I'm saying? Like so she defected, but didn't tell him that she defected just to like spy on them for us, kind of thing. And it was just like the whole thing was just crazy because like
double twist.
the double twist, and it just I just feel like overall the whole game itself was just like a masterpiece.
Okay.
said the double op, bro.
The double op. She said, "I'm leaving you for them," but in reality, she's with them for you.
The Itachi story, bro.
Oh man. Well, since you both had 2, I'm gonna have 2 as well. Although they stay within the same franchise. Chris, I'm sure you probably may have an inkling as to what I'm gonna say, but I got to go to BioShock. It's a game that I've talked about on here a lot of times, a number of times. I would say the very first BioShock easily had one of the best endings / twist in gaming history, right? I think it's highly regarded as one of those games. But that's not going to be my main pick. It's going to be from BioShock Infinite. And the reason why I love I'm not going to spoil it. So, don't worry about it. If you guys know, if you're watching, if you played those games and you know the twists and the endings, then you'll understand why it's absolutely amazing. But the ending of Infinite just did such a insane job of tying all the other things that happened in BioShock 1 and 2 and Infinite together. And it was just like really satisfying to see all that stuff, play out on the screen. And I don't know, like I like there's not really many moments in gaming where like I finish the game and my jaw is still like on the floor. I honestly, not to get negative about it, but like Chris mentioned, like a lot of the times most endings are disappointing or at least just mediocre at best. But yeah, BioShock 1 and Infinite, both lasting impressions on me. Like I still remember like to the T the details of what happens at the end of the game. So yeah, those are my picks.
I'm interested that you said Infinite because I've heard numerous people say that about the first one. But I think that's the first time I've ever heard somebody give Infinite that kind of love. I think
I heard the Infinite ending was great. I never like beat Infinite, but like yeah, that's what I've heard too.
Infinite just there are these moments, and especially if you are a fan of the franchise and you play them all, which I guess I'm not really sure why you wouldn't play Infinite or why you wouldn't play the other ones if you played Infinite, but whatever. It's just like as you go through Infinite, it's like I guess the way they like marketing it was like it's not really a sequel, but it is a sequel. And as you play the game, like you kind of feel like, well, I see why this is a BioShock game, but I don't really see why it's a BioShock game. And then the ending happens and you're like, oh, and that's what makes it like hit even harder for me. So Chris, I know it's a game you're gonna love, so you gotta get there at some point.
Yeah, I know.
Is that the only BioShock you ever played?
He hasn't played any of them.
Oh,
I started part 1. I just never got far in it.
Yeah, I played part 1, and I got to a certain point where, like, well, it's not that I got to a certain point and stopped playing. It's just that what happened was I was playing on my brother's PlayStation 4 at the time, and I think, like, he sold that PlayStation, and at the time they didn't have cloud save, so I was like, rip.
Games have been that game back to Game Pass, yo. Let people play it. Let the people see the greatness.
Yeah, for real.
Still waiting for that 4th one to come out. We'll see what happens there.
Put that in UE5.
We'll see. Hopefully this year on E3. Oh wait.
That was cheeky.
Don't do that. That was horrible. My heart can't take it.
Man.
All right, guys. Well, Chris, good icebreaker as always. let's talk about some games like we do. So
Dessert.
so the first thing we got, as we mentioned beforehand, is we're getting a new Max Payne, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we're getting. Let me rephrase that. We're getting a remake of Max Payne 1 and 2. So this, I don't know. For me, this news seems a little weird, at least the way it's structured to me. But alas, Remedy and Rockstar have announced that they will be partnering together to remake Max Payne 1 and 2, and they'll be basically rolling them into one game. I don't know. It's super random, but whatever. I think Remedy made the first two games themselves,
Yeah.
but I think eventually Rockstar grabbed the rights to them, so I think Rockstar made the third one. So it seems fitting that they would, kind of partner together. My first question though is, what the hell does this mean for my boys Alan Wake? Like, when is that? I'm assuming Alan Wake's got to come out first, right? But
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just intriguing. But just to read off a little snippet here from the press release, says, we are thrilled when our longtime friends at Remedy approached us about making or remaking the original Max Payne games, said founder Sam Hauser. We are massive fans of the work the Remedy team has created over the years, and we can't wait to play these new versions. So apparently, they're going to be making. Let me just make sure I'm getting this right before I say it. Yep. Okay. So they're going to be using the same engine that they've planned to use for Alan Wake 2 and the one that they've used for Control. So graphically, this is going to come correct. Like the trailer that we saw from Alan Wake 2 looks amazing graphically, and Control is a pretty impressive game graphically as well. Especially like the physics of the game is fantastic. So
Yeah.
seeing like the combat and the physics translate over to the world of Max Payne, like with the bullet time stuff and how all that's gonna shake out. Definitely very, very excited about that. Manny, you played Max Payne, right?
Yeah.
The OG ones? Okay. What do you think about this?
No, like you mentioned, it's very exciting, especially for the simple fact that it is being done by Remedy. So like you don't have to worry about getting a half-ass remaster like from the trilogy that we got from Rockstar. So once I saw that Remedy was the one working on it, I was excited. So I can't wait to see, a trailer or something eventually, see how it looks like. I'm sure it's going to be great, especially since, the last two projects, the future of Alan Wake 2 as well as Control, they look amazing and play amazing because I played a little bit of Control as well. So I can't wait to see how that translates into a Max Payne remake, especially since you said they're going to squish the both games into one so that you don't have to worry about, buying two packages.
Well, Chris, what do you think, man? I mean, have you ever played Max Payne yourself?
Man, Max Payne, I think this is big news to me. I've played them loosely, I would say. Like I never really beat one myself. Here's how it worked. My brother, when we were younger, was heavily into Max Payne. So I would play a little bit, but I spent probably most of my time just watching him do his playthrough. Because the story was crazy. And back then, like shooting games and stuff like that, I played them a little bit, but they weren't really my thing. But like I remember sitting there watching this dude. I watched him play, I think, all three of them. And it's like a movie if you're just somebody kind of like sitting on the sideline just watching it all. And oh man, I just think about how this, again, the visuals are going to be stunning. We're not going to have to question that at all. But I've said it many times, man. I think Max Payne was ahead of its time. I don't think that game was ready for the time it came out in, man, because it couldn't have been done justice the way it kind of needed to, especially on the psychological standpoint. People don't understand that game is really big on Max kind of digging through his own brain and his own memories and mind and shit in order to kind of piece together what the fuck's happening. Like, it's a huge psychological component to the game, which I guess is kind of a theme with Remedy in general. Like, I don't know if you remember these parts where like he would have to go through these like trails, and it was like a bloodline trail or whatever.
It was in black and white, I think.
I remember it being very dark and like a lot of red. I don't know if I remember.
I remember the bloodlines being red, but I feel like everything around it was either black and white or gray.
Something like that. Yeah. It was just you could tell he was in his own mind or whatever, right? And I remember stuff like that. And it looked cool back then, but it's old school. Them doing those kind of things now is gonna look crazy. The bullet time stuff, it's probably gonna look crazy. Excuse me. Let's give Max Payne some flowers. bullet time isn't like everything. I don't care what nobody says. They made that shit hot. If you didn't know, Max Payne is all that slow bullshit you like in video games. Max Payne, better get them motherfuckers their flowers, man. You got to. Yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm really, really excited. I'm also happy that they're condensing it into 2 games because that's the one knock I had on the first 2 is that sometimes they get very drawn out. The portions of him going through his own minds can get lengthy if you don't beat them through the first try.
Yeah.
So hopefully they shave off some of that stuff and they really just take the best parts of both games and kind of smush them together. But Bree, when this come out, I'm here for this. Don't play with me. This is Max Payne. Oh yeah. There's a reason why this shit got a movie. You know what I'm saying?
You're right. And this game is so old, right? I think the original one, looking it up now, came out in 2001. It's old. It is very old. Wow, that feels weird to say that it's old.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you're basically gonna allow a new generation of gamers to get their hands on this. And obviously, you know, we talk about this all the time, but gaming, at least the reach of gaming back in 2001 is obviously like in a very different place now. Like, you know, there's millions and millions more gamers out in the world just because gaming has become more mainstream and accepted and so on and so forth. So, you know, just introducing this world of Max Payne into, you know, like I said, a new generation of gamers is going to be really cool to see. And like, hopefully, you know, either Remedy or Rockstar or whomever can like spread that success out a little bit longer. I mean, hopefully we get a remake of Max Payne 3 and then they go on and make a 4 and so on and so forth. Hopefully they remake that movie because I feel like that movie did not do the thing justice at all.
I ain't seen the movie, so I guess I'm good.
Who was it? Ludacris and why do I want to say Mark Wahlberg? It wasn't Mark Wahlberg. Was it Mark Wahlberg?
I feel like Mark Wahlberg makes sense. Hold on now. We gonna settle this. We're gonna figure that out. Hold on.
Fuck, I can't remember who the guy who played Max Payne was. I just remember Ludacris was on it. And it was not good.
How come I didn't hear about this Max Payne movie?
It was Mark Wahlberg, yeah.
Okay.
Was it an old movie or did it
came out in
08?
08?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's old.
it's
I know video game movies, but especially back then wasn't hitting.
Yeah,
so.
they were pretty bad back then.
Man.
But yeah, Mark Wahlberg was Max Payne. Mila Kunis was in it. Like you said, Ludacris was in it. Mila Kunis, we
that's
might have to
weird.
Go back and watch that. Go back and watch that.
Bag alert, major bag.
No, that's random. Like I can't remember Mila Kunis being in that movie. So
I don't remember her in it either, if I'm being real. But you're absolutely hitting the nail on the head. They could go ahead and remake the movie too, and that'd be awesome, man. That'd be really, really cool to see them do that.
Or
so much
honestly, what I would prefer they do, because I feel like they're actually doing a really good job of this lately, is just turn it into a TV show and like spread that out. Speaking of which, that Halo TV show, we have to get to that at some point. Like we need to like really all watch it and talk about it because the first 2 episodes were weird and I didn't fully know how to feel about it. But this third one, it's shaping up, man. It's shaping up to be a lot better.
Okay.
I hope so. I was hearing like people say that it's like this show is not meant for like people who played the game. It's for people who want to know about the game, kind of thing.
I still feel that way largely. Like they took a lot of liberties with the game. I'm sorry, with the show. Like it doesn't really follow the game to the T at all. But I still like what they're doing. It's I don't know. It's interesting. But
I'll probably use that, one free month once, most of the episodes are out. So
that makes sense.
That's smart. That is very smart.
All right, but yeah, enough Max Payne, enough Halo TV show stuff. We're gonna talk about the main event from this week, man. Something I was pretty excited about. We're all, well, at least Chris and I are big graphic whores here. Manny, I know you appreciate your graphics, but you're not as aggressive about it as Chris and I can be.
Graphics.
I know you do. I know you do. But remember that whole conversation we was having with Elden Ring? I completely shot on it because I was like, "Oh, the graphics look bad." And you were fighting for the gameplay.
But then you played.
Oh, you were right. You were 1,000% right, my boy. 1,000% right.
No,
but you still ain't playing the game. I find that very ironic.
I'm just stuck in I don't know why I've been hooked on Grand Theft Auto 5 because I'm actually diving into the businesses and shit. So I'm actually doing what I'm supposed to do instead of grinding Cayo Perico. So forgive me.
My man ran Cairo Perico more than anybody in the planet, bro.
Bro,
Must have ran
if
that
you
heist a
if you
bajillion
need
times.
something, just take a trip to Cairo Rico. It's easy 1.5 mil in like 40
You're
minutes.
right. You're right. It is very easy to go in and
Man.
out, get your money. Like I
Yeah.
respect that. For me, with Grand Theft Auto, like I need to grind like for a specific reason. Like I got my oppressor and that was it. I'm like I'm good. There's nothing else that I need in this game. But whenever they
Yeah.
come out with that
Yeah,
next
hopefully
update,
hopefully the Liberty City update is something, you know what I'm saying? Cuz like right now it is, I already got my bunker and my CEO thing all set up, so I need something else.
I feel you. I feel you. But yeah, pivoting back over to the big topic we're really going to talk about is Unreal Engine 5. So Epic had a nice little showcase talking about the official release of the engine. And they sprinkled a lot of random little things in there.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing that I really want to talk about, because we've seen enough about Unreal Engine 5 at this point. We saw the Matrix tech demo. We saw some other tech demos before the next gen consoles really released. So honestly, in my mind, I thought that Unreal Engine 5 was already out. So to see that they had like officially released it this week was funny to me. Obviously they had certain partners that they had been working with. Like we've seen Hellblade 2, that's running an Unreal Engine 5 and whatnot. So they have like a select, key partners that are already fully well into development on Unreal Engine 5 stuff. But to see them unveil this whole suite was very interesting. We don't really get into too much of like game development stuff on here, but I feel like this Unreal Engine thing is big enough that it really matters for us and what we really want to talk about. I think the biggest thing that they announced for me from a development side was the fact that you could like scan in any real world object. Like if I wanted to scan in this AirPod case or whatever, like I could just pull out my phone, scan it into my phone and then just put it into a game. And they said for free, essentially, right? It's a part of the suite of tools. And I just feel like the type of stuff that can do for game development long term is just insane. Like the term that they use is like they're democratizing, game development with these tools and whatnot, which I have to say, like, it makes a lot of sense for these tools to be free, for you to have like the metahuman creator to be able to create like a very realistic person and throw them in the game, to be able to scan in whatever item it is that you wanted. Like I think in the tech demo they showed that someone scanned in a chair and just put it into the world, for like an ambiance sake. All that stuff just looks really fucking amazing, and like I don't know, man. Like it's always crazy to me to see how far game development has come in relation to graphics and how realistic we're making things look. So yeah, I mean, before I keep going, because I can go on and on about this, but Chris, we talked about you being another graphics snob like me. So
Yeah,
what do you
man.
think about what you saw?
Man, you know how I talk about hair and teeth and shit. I always talk about that constantly. That's my one talking point when it comes to video and water in video games. Always talking about that. There's nothing really bad to say here, man. Like this entire presentation was cool. It's a little bit more hands-on than I expected it to be. It seems a lot more user-friendly than I expected it to be. Like I just got to keep it a stack, man. As soon as I saw the Matrix thing from a couple months ago, I'm still blown away by that. Still today, still blown away by it. Just by how Neo's hair looked in that damn trailer, and I said they done it. They done it. Oh, because I remember watching it and I didn't know that it was a graphic version of Neo until like maybe 10, 15 seconds into the trailer, and I was like, oh shit, damn, they got good. So, and again, this kind of ties into the whole thing I said like a couple episodes way back where I was like, we have these new consoles right now, but I don't even think we scratched the surface yet on what they're going to give us. Like we barely dipped our toe in the ice or in the water type of thing. And now that we're getting, the UE5, and now we've had a year and a half now ish of sitting with the console, and COVID starting to reel back in a little bit, and so people are not so confined at home. It seems like now, next couple years, we're gonna really start seeing what these consoles can do, and this is like one of the first steps, man. And shit, man, I'm gonna be real. I'm about to try to get me one of the monitors next year if I can help it, because I can't keep sitting here letting motherfuckers just pass me by while all this crazy shit is being constructed for our visual purposes. You think I'm about to sit here in this 60 FPS forever? Nah, we live in a new lifestyle now, baby. I'm coming for it. I want to see what that's going to look like, and I'm excited. I'm very, very excited. I hope almost every dev team decides to take advantage of it, and yeah, I can't wait to see what some of the people who actually use it for themselves decide to come up with too. I think somebody out there somewhere is gonna get a hit out of nowhere by making some random game, and then now boom, you're a dev. Yeah, bro, you're a dev now.
I think that's the thing that's also got me really excited too, is like at least the way they portrayed it on screen, in the whole keynote, like the ease of use of the tools, and also like some of the like the templates that they have. So they announced something called Project Lyra, and it was like basically like this multiplayer arena shooter template that anybody could download and like alter and make it their own. And the way they were showing like how easy it was to add like a wall and add weapons and do this and do that, and they already had AI that was able to like kill the presenter pretty quickly and easily, like all that stuff was pre-made. And obviously I think like most AAA developers won't use that template exactly, but the fact that like me myself, I could go download that right now and like maybe find some assets and pull together a game that's my own, that's amazing. And that's gotta cut game development down by half, I think, or at least cut out a good chunk of it off if you already have all these pre-made systems in place, and all you have to do is just click a couple buttons and just throw it together. Like, I think that stuff's got to be good for game development long term. Like, I think we're going to get a lot more indie developers making, content that's different. We all complain about like, oh, we get the certain games every year, like all the sports games every year. We get all the Call of Duties every year, whatever. It's more of the same. Well, things like this will allow Joe Schmo sitting on his couch who has like a really cool game idea to just go ahead and download the Unreal Engine and just start making games. Like, I think that's beneficial to gaming long term. But man, I want to get your take on this stuff, man. What do you think about what you've seen from the showcase?
Yeah, definitely. Especially showing how like easy the access of use of this engine is really like is amazing. And like you said, like Joe Schmo can really like come out here with a banging, AAA title looking game off of like, whatever he has, his computer and one monitor and, his creative ideas. So like, it's just crazy to think how like far gaming has become. Where like even Unreal Engine, how they're saying like Unreal Engine 4 came out like 8 years ago, and like throughout those years we've seen how many games, like not only like big AAA users like Coalition and everything like that, but like even small indie users and their creative projects that they came out with and how amazing they looked. And now like Unreal Engine 5 coming out, and how like a lot of these indie games are going to be going to the next level because of how creative these people are and like the ease of access Unreal Engine 5 is with the way they showed how to like use a lot of things. And even like you said with their Project Lyra, where it's like, oh, if you want to make stairs, if you want to do this like that, just put stairs down, just drag it up. If you want to make a skinny, just bam, like just everything's like pretty crazy how they do it. And I really like how like easy it is. Got me low key wanting to use it, but like my creative ideas suck sometimes. So, but
so yeah, we got to make a game, guys. Make a
expansion pack game.
Hey, yo.
We're gonna have an episode on Unreal Engine 5.
Forgot the start screen. It just be like, hiya.
Well, are you gonna be like some side scrolling beat 'em up? Hiya.
Oh god.
But I also like like that's what I said with the whole like scanning thing. I think they also have like a scanning thing for faces and everything like that, so you can just easily scan a human face in the game and
so
so
that's the thing I was trying to figure out, because it makes sense that if you could scan an object, then you should be able to scan a face in. But I couldn't verify that. But if that's real, bro,
I thought they announced it like months ago though. like it being a thing, and we talked about it in an episode.
I think we talked about the idea of being able to scan a face in, but I still never got confirmation on like
So
if
there's
you
no
could.
confirmation. I thought
Maybe
it
there
was
is. I don't
confirmed.
know. I just
I
couldn't find it.
remember us talking about it, yeah, but I'm sure I'm like, if you can't scan objects, I'm sure you can scan humans. There ain't no way you ain't gonna just like scan objects and not be able to scan a human being.
I think so. I think you should be able to. Man,
If
listen.
2K doesn't use this shit, I'm gonna be pissed. Because
Listen.
2K is, I'm so mad at that fucking face scanner shit every year. Use this.
I think the problem is they tailor that to like iPhones, because like I had the Note 20.
Yeah, I
and,
think somebody told me that.
you know,
too,
the Note 20, the camera's good, but like the way they made the face scan app work, like it was so unoptimized, because like they made the face scan like the face look longer than it really is and everything like that, and I was so disappointed. But then when I got to the iPhone, it's like seamless, and I'm just like, why? You know what I'm saying?
I still had problems when I was using it because I had an iPhone and I also had my iPad, and the camera on the iPad is basically the same. I still had problems. I just think they just like I could get it to work. It was just like this should be so much simpler.
Yeah.
Like,
It's funny because like I always struggling, but I always get it.
No,
Like,
I've never gotten a good pull on that ever.
I always get it first try.
Ever.
Well, not
I
first
always
try.
end up having a default and say, fuck it, I'm just going to use the assets. And it ends up coming out looking the same way every single year. And I'm like, whatever, man. Because, yo, my dude used to come out looking like somebody took a paintbrush and just went like in the middle of his face. And then it was just smush. That's what my dude used to look like every single time. Horrible. Horrible. Not fun.
I feel like at some level, the more games that adopt Unreal Engine 5, and if this like metahuman creator thing is really a thing where you can scan your face in, I feel like there's got to be a basis where, like, I don't know, let's say Elden Ring is made in Unreal Engine 5 or Elden Ring 2 or whatever it is, right? Like, and obviously all these games have like a customize your character type of thing. I should just be able to just blanketly like
Default your guy.
Yeah, like it's saved in some like Unreal cloud somewhere, and like every time I play a game that has Unreal Engine built into it, I'd be like, all right, use that face scan, and then boom, like the ultimate customization. And I think that's kind of an inevitability for like this whole metaverse concept that we're pushing towards. So yeah, I need that. I need that in my Maddens, in my 2Ks, in my FIFAs, in my Elden
Madden
Rings.
used to do that too, though. Like I remember used to have like a game face saved in like the EA files, and then like I don't know what happened, so they just gave up on it.
But it was never good, That was the thing.
Yeah.
Like, I need that to be top tier.
Up to par.
Get that up to par for sure. But yeah, I mean, all the things that we talked about with this Unreal Engine stuff, it's very clear that developers are taking notice. There's a couple different things or a couple different partners that they announced at the showcase. They talked about the coalition working on their next game with Unreal Engine 5, which is obvious at this point. That's all, like Gears of War has always been made in Unreal Engine, so that's not particularly surprising. But they showed off like a whole litany of people, like a good chunk of people from the Xbox team, like Obsidian, if I can remember correctly. I don't remember if Playground Games was on there, but they showed a number of different studios, and then even some more announcements within the showcase. So the next Witcher, which I think we talked about already, but the next Witcher is going to be made in Unreal Engine 5. They had a little presentation where they talked about how easy it's going to be to make the games and all that other stuff. Typical stuff you usually get when you have a partnership that shows up on stage. But we also had an announcement of the next Tomb Raider game that's going to be using Unreal Engine 5. So that's going to be pretty exciting. Crystal Dynamics has done a pretty good job of making the old games, look good. I think Manny, before the show started, you were talking about you still had to finish Rise of the Tomb Raider, right?
Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Oh, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, yeah. But I mean, that game is beautiful, like the environments that they've created. So imagine like them, taking all their expertise and rolling that over to Unreal Engine 5, and we get like a lifelike Lara Croft with the metahuman creator and all that stuff, man. I cannot wait for that. It's going to be so cool. And probably one of the other, this just got announced this morning, really, is Kingdom Hearts 4. We saw a trailer this morning, and that game is going to be running on Unreal Engine 5. And I don't think any of these other games that we've mentioned before have ever used Unreal Engine in their games previously. So I'm pretty sure Tomb Raider wasn't Unreal Engine. The Witcher, they said that they were using their own engine. They literally said that on stage. They were using their own engine before, and now they're converting to Unreal Engine 5. And Kingdom Hearts, I'm pretty sure, wasn't running an Unreal Engine either. So to see so many different games coming out and utilizing this new technology, it's very exciting. I think we're going to get a lot of really beautiful next gen games, a lot of crazy physics. I don't think they explicitly talk about what's it called? Oh my god, ray shading or ray tracing?
Oh, ray tracing, yeah.
Ray tracing, but the lighting effects that they did show in the showcase, even though they're not like ray tracing exactly, they're very, very, very
solid.
good. Very good. Like the Lumen engine and all that stuff. So
I was gonna say, even like when the Coalition had their little tech demo, they even showed their own like variation of ray tracing, which was pretty solid. So
yeah, man. And I think the Coalition seems to have a really good relationship with Epic. Like they obviously showcased them. I think they helped them to optimize the Matrix demo. I remember them talking about that when that came out. So I'm especially excited to see what the Coalition can showcase, whether it's the next Gears of War or if they're making something else. Like I really want to see them get their hands on Unreal Engine 5 and like pull out a full-fledged game. I think out of all the creators that I can think of when it comes to Unreal Engine, they like push that thing to its limits, man. So excited to see what they got.
It's sad that we ain't get no E3, but like, I'm hoping whatever Xbox showcases, I hope we get a Gears of War 6 to finally end that trilogy.
I need Fable too, though. I need that too. You gotta get both. We need to get two big announcements. I would be happy with.
I mean, honestly, I
still
think
got Starfield, so
yeah, I think we're gonna get a lot this year.
You know what I mean?
I think we're gonna get a lot this year from like the showcase side of things, because even though there's no E3, I think Microsoft's already committed to the fact that they're gonna have some sort of a showcase in the summer. So
they always do that, yeah.
Yeah, hopefully we're gonna see a lot of Unreal Engine 5 games and all the types of crazy stuff. But we'll see. I mean, I think we're getting to this point now. I think I mentioned it a couple of weeks back. Like we're in this period now where I think we're going to be seeing more and more announcements, and some of these little press conferences are ramping up and whatnot, leading into what would have been E3. Now that there is no E3, either we're going to get a lot of those announcements that we were going to get at E3 beforehand or after. And I don't know. It could be a good thing for the industry to have these things spread apart. May not be. We'll see. But, of course, guys, once those things get announced, we're going to be talking about it here. I think this is probably a good place to leave it, though. There's a couple other things that happened this week, but I think, that Unreal stuff was big. I think it's going to really kind of pave the way for the future of gaming, the things that we're going to be seeing in the next 2 to 3 years. So,
definitely.
All right, guys. Anything else you guys had to add before we go?
Quick question. Do you guys think a Switch can handle a game that's made with UE5?
Not natively. You don't have to stream it.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Fortnite? Fortnite's running on UE5.
Is it? Well, yeah. I mean, okay. Actually, you know what? That's a good point, though, because Unreal Engine 5, I think, is flexible enough to do... I think that's the whole point of Unreal, is that it's a flexible engine. So, that's a good point. I think anything could run on the Switch. It's just it won't look as good. Obviously.
It won't look like what you want it to be, but I mean, like I said, they got Fortnite, so they got something.
Yeah. Actually, I'm really glad you brought that up, Manny, because that's an even more exciting thing to understand. Is like it's already out. Like there's already a game that's shipped with Unreal Engine 5. Like they talk about it in the showcase too, like how they literally revamped the whole game. So obviously, Fortnite was running on Unreal Engine 4. They said that they were able to convert over to 5 without really sacrificing much of anything in way of code or any of that type of stuff. So hopefully we can see other games that are running on older code, converted over with a nice graphical bump. I can't really think of anything else that's like an ongoing game like Fortnite that's running on Unreal Engine 4. But
the only thing I could probably think of is probably like, well, damn, I can't even think of. I had the game in my mind, but I can't think of it. But it's that one live service game that's been like going off. Warframe. There we go. I'm sure that game's probably like, I don't know. UE4 is probably,
I don't even know. I have no idea about Warframe.
Yeah, I haven't touched Warframe, but I know people still love it. So
people love Warframe. They talk about that just as much as they talk about Destiny.
I don't get it. I think they're so different from one another, but that's just me.
I think there's the live service, like looter shooter aspect.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
They're still cool following, so
Oh, for sure, no doubt.
Yeah, Warframe got some people that fight for them, man. They're not playing.
All right, guys. Well, yeah, like I said, I think this is a good place to end it. We'll talk to you guys next week. Make sure to check out our social media stuff. You'll see it down at the bottom there, all of our tags. And then, of course, also make sure to check out the podcast, Twitter at XPack Pod, the Instagram at XPack Pod, and then also search us up on TikTok at Expansion Pack Podcast. And thank you guys for watching. We'll check you guys out next week. Peace.
Oh yeah.